Jason Bryant wiped the sweat from his forehead with a worn towel as he watched his 5-year-old daughter, Lily, play with her dinosaur toys in the gym's childcare area through the glass window. He had exactly 45 minutes to get in a workout before his shift at the construction site started, and every second counted. The membership to this budget gym was one of the few luxuries he allowed himself, paid for with overtime hours because he needed to stay strong for his job and for Lily. Being a single dad meant carrying her sleeping form up 3 flights of stairs to their apartment most nights, and his back had been reminding him lately that he was not getting any younger at 32. He moved toward the free weights section, nodding at a few familiar faces. The morning crowd was usually the same people, working folks like him who squeezed in exercise before the chaos of the day began. Jason had just picked up a set of dumbbells when he heard the uncomfortable exchange happening near the leg press machines. "Come on, sweetheart, just one date." "I promise I will make it worth your while," a muscular guy in an expensive tank top said, standing way too close to a woman who was clearly trying to create distance. "I have already said no 3 times. "Please leave me alone," the woman replied firmly, her voice steady but with an edge of frustration. Jason recognized her vaguely. She had been coming to this gym for about 2 weeks now, always arriving early, always keeping to herself. She had dark hair pulled back in a simple ponytail, minimal makeup, and wore plain black workout clothes that looked quality but understated. What caught his attention now was not her appearance, but the way the guy was blocking her path, his body language aggressive despite his smile. "Do not be like that. You are here all alone, looking like that, and you expect guys not to notice?" The man continued, reaching out as if to touch her arm. Jason set down his weights. His jaw tightened. He had seen this kind of thing before, and he had a daughter who would grow up in this world. The thought of someone treating Lily like this in the future made his blood run cold. "Hey," Jason said, his voice calm but carrying across the space as he approached. "She asked you to leave her alone." The guy turned, sizing Jason up. Jason was not the biggest guy in the gym, but years of construction work had built a solid frame, and his presence had a quiet strength to it. His hands were calloused, his shoulders broad from lifting lumber and drywall, and his expression was serious. "This is none of your business, man," the guy said, puffing up slightly. "It became my business when you did not respect the word no," Jason replied evenly. "She is trying to work out. Let her be." The woman looked at Jason with surprise, then relief. She took the opportunity to step back, putting more distance between herself and her harasser. "What are you, her boyfriend or something?" the guy challenged. "I am someone who understands basic human decency," Jason said. "Now you can walk away or we can get management involved. Your choice." For a moment, tension crackled in the air. A few other gym goers had stopped their workouts to watch. The guy looked around, realized he had an audience, and his bravado deflated slightly. "Whatever, man. She is not even that hot anyway," he muttered, the classic response of a rejected ego. He grabbed his phone from a nearby bench and stalked off toward the locker rooms. Jason watched him go, making sure he actually left before turning to the woman. "Are you okay?" She nodded, and he could see her releasing a breath she had been holding. "Thank you." That was getting really uncomfortable. "No problem. Sorry you had to deal with that," Jason said. He started to turn back to his workout, not wanting to make her feel like he expected anything in return when she spoke again. "No, really? Thank you." Most people just pretend they do not see it happening. Her voice was warm, genuine. "I am Sophia. Sophia Turner." "Jason Bryant," he said, offering a hand. Her handshake was firm, confident. "Unfortunately, too many people think it is not their place to get involved. I have got a daughter, so I guess I take this stuff personally." "You have a daughter." Sophia's face softened. "How old?" 5. "She is right over there in the childcare," Jason said, gesturing toward the glass-walled room where Lily was now making her T-Rex attack her Triceratops with enthusiastic sound effects he could not hear but could definitely see. Sophia smiled, a real smile that reached her eyes. She looks like she is having the time of her life. Dinosaurs are her current obsession. Last month it was unicorns. Next month it will probably be something else entirely, Jason said, his whole demeanor changing when talking about his daughter. The hardness that had been there moments before melted into pure paternal affection. The best kind of childhood, Sophia said. Then she paused, seeming to debate something internally. Look, I know this might seem forward, but can I buy you a coffee after your workout to say thank you properly? Jason hesitated. He checked his watch. I appreciate it, but I have got to get to work. I am on a construction crew and we start at 7. Of course, Sophia said quickly. Maybe another time then? Yeah, maybe, Jason said with a small smile. You take care of yourself, okay? If that guy bothers you again, report him to management. I will, she promised. Jason went back to his workout, but he could feel eyes on him periodically. When he glanced up, he caught Sophia looking his way once or twice, though she quickly returned her attention to her exercises. He did not think much of it. He finished his routine, grabbed Lily from childcare, and headed home to shower and change before work. What Jason did not know was that Sophia Turner was not just another gym member. She was Sophia Turner, CEO of Turner Industries, a multinational corporation with interests in technology, real estate, and sustainable energy. Her net worth was estimated at somewhere around $3 billion, though the exact figure fluctuated with the stock market. She had been coming to this particular gym specifically because it was not the kind of place where she would be recognized. She had gyms in her office buildings, personal trainers on call, but lately, she had craved anonymity. The pressure of being constantly watched, constantly judged, constantly surrounded by people who wanted something from her had become suffocating. For the past 2 weeks, this run-down gym in a working-class neighborhood had been her escape. No photographers, no networking, no one trying to pitch her ideas while she was on the treadmill. Just normal people living normal lives. And now, one of those normal people had stood up for her without knowing who she was, expecting nothing in return. Sophia found herself thinking about Jason throughout her day. She had meetings with board members, calls with international partners, decisions to make that affected thousands of employees, but her mind kept drifting back to the construction worker with kind eyes and a 5-year-old dinosaur enthusiast. She had dated plenty of men in her tax bracket. They were polished, educated, sophisticated, and almost universally more interested in her money and status than in her. Jason had not even wanted to accept a cup of coffee as a thank you. The next morning, Sophia arrived at the gym at the same time, hoping to see Jason again. Sure enough, he was there, dropping Lily off at childcare. The little girl was chattering excitedly about something, her small hands waving animatedly, and Jason was listening with complete attention despite clearly being in a hurry. Sophia waited until he had settled Lily and then approached carefully, not wanting to seem like she was stalking him. Good morning, she said. Jason looked up, and his face broke into a friendly smile. Hey, Sophia, how are you doing? No more trouble, I hope? No, thankfully. I think your intervention made a lasting impression, she said. Listen, I know you were in a rush yesterday, but that coffee offer still stands. There is a place right across the street, just 15 minutes, please. It would really make me feel better. Jason checked his watch again. He had built in a little buffer time this morning, anticipating traffic. 15 minutes would not kill him, and honestly, there was something about Sophia that intrigued him. She seemed different from the women he usually encountered. Grounded. Real. 15 minutes, he agreed. But I am buying my own coffee. Sophia laughed. Deal. They walked across the street to a small diner that served breakfast and coffee to the morning rush. It was nothing fancy, with vinyl booths and a laminate counter, but the coffee was good and strong. They slid into a booth, and Jason ordered black coffee while Sophia got a latte. So, construction work? Sophia asked, genuinely curious. What do you build? Right now, we are working on a new office complex downtown, mostly framing and drywall at this stage, Jason explained. It is good work. Physical, which I like. Every day you can see progress, see what you have accomplished. That must be satisfying, Sophia said. Seeing tangible results. It is. What about you? What do you do? Jason asked, taking a sip of his coffee. Sophia hesitated for just a fraction of a second. I work in business management. Pretty boring stuff, honestly. Lots of meetings. It was not a lie, technically. She did manage a business. She just left out the scale of it. I bet it is not as boring as you make it sound, Jason said. You have got that look. What look? Sophia asked, amused. The look of someone who is good at what they do. Confident. Like you know your worth, Jason said. Then he seemed to realize how that might sound and added quickly, not in a cocky way, just in a capable way. Sophia felt a warmth spread through her chest that had nothing to do with the latte. When was the last time someone had complimented her competence without following it up with a request or expectation? Thank you, she said softly. What about Lily's mom, if you do not mind me asking? Are you two co-parenting? Jason's expression clouded slightly. No. She passed away 3 years ago. Cancer, it was fast and brutal. Oh, Jason, I am so sorry, Sophia said, her hand instinctively reaching across the table to touch his. That must have been incredibly hard. It was the worst thing I have ever been through, Jason admitted. Still is, some days. But I have got Lily, and she needed me to hold it together, so I did. You do what you have to do, you know. She is lucky to have you, Sophia said sincerely. I am the lucky one, Jason replied. She is the best thing in my life. Everything I do is for her. They talked for exactly 15 minutes, and then Jason really did have to go. But as they parted ways, Sophia heading back into the gym and Jason jogging to his truck, both of them were smiling. This became their routine. Every morning, after their workouts, they would meet at the diner for exactly 15 minutes. Sometimes 20 if Jason had managed his time particularly well. They talked about everything and nothing. Jason told her about Lily's adventures in kindergarten, the funny things she said, the challenges of doing her hair in the morning. Sophia shared carefully edited stories about her work, focusing on the interpersonal dynamics rather than the corporate scale. She told him about her love of hiking, her secret addiction to terrible reality TV shows, her complicated relationship with her father who had built the company she now ran. 3 weeks into their morning coffee meetings, Jason did something that surprised Sophia. He invited her to Lily's kindergarten play. You absolutely do not have to come, he said quickly. I know it is probably the last thing you want to do, sit through a bunch of 5-year-olds singing off-key. But Lily keeps asking about the nice lady from the gym, and I mentioned you might come, and now she is really excited about it, so no pressure, but if you are free next Friday evening. I would love to come, Sophia interrupted, her heart swelling. She could not remember the last time someone had invited her to something so normal, so genuine, so completely unrelated to business or social climbing. Really? Jason looked relieved and happy. Okay, great. It starts at 6. I will text you the address. The exchange of phone numbers felt like a milestone. Sophia rearranged her entire Friday, pushing meetings and canceling a charity gala she was supposed to attend. Her assistant, Margaret, who had been with her for 15 years, raised an eyebrow but made the changes without comment. The kindergarten was in a neighborhood elementary school, worn but clean, with student artwork covering every available wall space. Sophia arrived a few minutes before 6, dressed down in jeans and a simple sweater, her hair loose around her shoulders instead of in its usual professional style. She spotted Jason immediately. He was in the 3rd row, having clearly arrived early to secure good seats. He had changed from his work clothes into clean jeans and a button-down shirt, his hair still damp from a shower. You came, he said, his face lighting up as she approached. Of course I came, Sophia replied, sliding into the seat next to him. I would not miss it. The play was exactly as advertised, chaotic, adorable, and featuring wildly off-key singing. Lily played a sunflower in a production about the changing seasons, and she took her role very seriously, standing up straight and swaying gently when the other kids sang about the wind. When she spotted Sophia in the audience, her whole face lit up, and she waved enthusiastically, nearly knocking over the child next to her. Jason laughed, covering his face with his hand. "That is my kid, subtle as a brick." Sophia was charmed by all of it. The earnestness of the children, the proud parents filming on their phones, the slightly harried teachers trying to keep everything on track. But mostly, she was charmed by watching Jason watch his daughter. The love on his face was so pure, so uncomplicated. This was a man who measured his success not in dollars or deals, but in moments like these. After the play, Lily came running over, still wearing her sunflower costume. "Did you see me? Did you see me being a flower?" "I did." "You were the best sunflower I have ever seen," Sophia said, crouching down to Lily's level. "Daddy says you are his friend from the gym," Lily said, studying Sophia with the intense scrutiny only a 5-year-old could manage. "That is right." "Your dad and I work out at the same gym," Sophia confirmed. "Are you strong?" Lily asked seriously. "I am getting stronger," Sophia said. This seemed to satisfy Lily. "Good. Being strong is important. That is what Daddy says. Your daddy is very smart," Sophia said. "I know," Lily agreed matter-of-factly. Jason intervened before his daughter could continue the interrogation. "All right, little flower, let us get you out of that costume and go grab some dinner. Say goodbye to Sophia. Will you come to dinner with us?" Lily asked Sophia directly, and Jason's eyes widened. "Lily, we talked about this. Sophia probably has plans," Jason started, but Sophia interrupted. "Actually, I would love to join you for dinner if that is okay with your dad," she said, looking up at Jason. Jason searched her face for any sign that she was just being polite, but all he saw was genuine interest. "We are just going to the pizza place down the street. Nothing fancy." "Perfect," Sophia said. Dinner was a revelation for Sophia. She had eaten at Michelin-starred restaurants around the world, attended state dinners and exclusive galas, but sitting in a noisy pizza parlor with Jason and Lily felt more real than any of it. Lily talked non-stop, bouncing between topics with the randomness of childhood. Jason was patient and engaged, answering questions about why the sky was blue and whether dragons could be real if we believed hard enough. When Lily excused herself to go look at the arcade games in the corner, Jason turned to Sophia with an apologetic smile. "Sorry." "She is a lot when she gets wound up." "Do not apologize. She is wonderful," Sophia said, meaning it completely. "You are doing an amazing job with her, Jason, really." "I am trying," he said. "Some days are harder than others. Money is tight, and I worry I am not giving her everything she deserves." "No dance classes or piano lessons or any of that stuff other kids get." "She has something more important than any of that," Sophia said firmly. "She has a father who loves her completely and shows up for her every single day. Trust me, that is worth more than all the lessons in the world." Jason looked at her curiously. "Sounds like you are speaking from experience." Sophia chose her words carefully. "My father was very focused on his work when I was growing up. We had money for every lesson and opportunity you could imagine, but what I really wanted was more time with him." "Lily has that with you. Do not underestimate how valuable that is." Jason reached across the table and squeezed her hand. "Thank you for saying that." The touch sent electricity through Sophia's arm. It was such a simple gesture, but it felt intimate in a way that surprised her. She realized with sudden clarity that she was developing feelings for this man. Real feelings. The kind she had not allowed herself to have in years because everyone in her world came with ulterior motives. Over the next few weeks, their relationship deepened. The morning coffee meetings stretched longer. Jason started texting her throughout the day, photos of Lily doing something cute or a funny thing one of his coworkers had said. Sophia found herself looking forward to these messages more than any business update. She started texting back, sharing pieces of her real life, though still carefully avoiding any mention of her actual position. She knew she was being dishonest by omission, and it was starting to weigh on her. But every time she tried to find the right moment to tell Jason the truth, fear stopped her. What if he looked at her differently? What if he thought she had been playing some kind of game? What if he decided she was too complicated, too much baggage, and pulled away? The universe forced her hand on a rainy Tuesday morning. Sophia arrived at the gym to find Jason pacing near the entrance, his phone pressed to his ear, stress evident in every line of his body. Lily was with him, unusually quiet, holding her dinosaurs close to her chest. "I understand that," Jason was saying into the phone, his voice tight. "But I literally cannot afford that right now. Is there any kind of payment plan or assistance program?" A pause. Okay, I will figure something out, thank you." He hung up and rubbed his face with both hands, looking defeated in a way Sophia had never seen. "Jason, what is wrong?" she asked, approaching carefully. He looked up, startled. "Sophia, sorry, bad morning." "What happened?" she asked. Jason glanced down at Lily, clearly not wanting to talk about it in front of her. Sophia understood. "Lily, honey, do you want to go see if there are any good books in the childcare room? I need to talk to your dad for just a minute." Lily looked to Jason for permission. He nodded, and one of the childcare workers who had just arrived offered to take her inside early. Once Lily was out of earshot, Jason slumped against the wall. "Her school called. There is an issue with my payment. Apparently, the check I sent bounced because I miscalculated what was in my account after the truck needed repairs last week. Now there is a fee on top of the tuition, and they need it cleared up by the end of the week or she cannot attend next month." "How much do you need?" Sophia asked immediately. "No," Jason said firmly. "No, I was not telling you that to ask for money. I just needed to vent for a second. I will figure it out. I can pick up some extra shifts, maybe sell some stuff I do not need." "Jason, let me help," Sophia insisted. "Sophia, you barely know me." "I am not taking your money," he said, his pride evident. "You are not taking it, I am offering it. As a loan if that makes you feel better. You can pay me back whenever," she argued. "No," he repeated. "I appreciate it, really, but no, I have handled harder things than this. I will manage." Sophia recognized the stubbornness in his expression and knew pushing would only make it worse. But watching him carry this burden alone when she could solve it with what amounted to pocket change for her was torture. This was the moment she should tell him the truth. But the fear of how he would react, especially now when he was already stressed and might see it as her pitying him, kept her silent. Over the next few days, Jason was visibly stressed. He picked up extra shifts, which meant he missed their morning coffees. Sophia found herself worrying about him constantly. She did something she probably should not have. She made a phone call to a friend who sat on several charitable boards and arranged for an anonymous donation to the elementary school's financial aid program, with specific instructions that families currently experiencing hardship should be prioritized. It was not a direct payment to Jason, so technically she had not gone against his wishes, but it was close enough that she felt guilty about it. A week later, Jason showed up at the gym with a completely different energy. He was smiling again, the weight lifted from his shoulders. "Good morning," Sophia said carefully when they met up for their coffee. The routine resumed. "You seem better." "I am," Jason said. "The weirdest thing happened. The school called and said an anonymous donor had contributed to their financial aid program, and Lily qualified for assistance. It covered the late fee and reduced our tuition for the next 6 months. Can you believe that?" Sophia felt her cheeks heat. "That is amazing," she managed. "What incredible timing." "I know, right? I told you I would figure it out." "The universe provides," Jason said, his faith in good things still intact despite everything life had thrown at him. Sophia smiled, but inside she was screaming at herself to tell him the truth. He deserved honesty. But sitting across from him, seeing him happy again, she could not bring herself to potentially ruin it. Their relationship continued to grow. Jason invited her to more things with Lily. Trips to the park, the children's museum, a Saturday morning at the farmer's market. Sophia treasured every moment. She was falling in love with both of them, this small ready-made family that had welcomed her in without knowing anything about her background or bank account. Jason, for his part, was falling equally hard. Sophia was unlike anyone he had ever met. She was smart and funny, could discuss everything from philosophy to the best dinosaur species with equal enthusiasm. She treated Lily with genuine affection, not the forced interest some women had shown when trying to get close to him. She listened when he talked, asked thoughtful questions, and shared pieces of herself that felt real and vulnerable. The physical attraction was undeniable, too. Every accidental touch sent sparks through him. The way she looked at him sometimes made his breath catch. 2 months after they first met, Jason asked her on a real date. Not a coffee meeting or a kid-friendly outing, but an actual adult date. He was nervous asking, stumbling over his words like a teenager. "So I was thinking maybe if you wanted we could go out sometime. Like dinner." "Just the two of us." He managed while they were sitting on a park bench watching Lily play. Sophia's heart soared. "I would really like that." "Yeah," Jason's face broke into a relieved grin. "Okay, great. How about Saturday night? I will get Mrs. Chen from downstairs to watch Lily. There is this Italian place that is supposed to be good." "Saturday is perfect," Sophia agreed. She spent an absurd amount of time getting ready for the date, cycling through half her wardrobe trying to find something that was nice but not too expensive looking. She settled on a simple blue dress and minimal jewelry, leaving her hair down the way Jason seemed to like it. When she arrived at the restaurant, Jason was already there, waiting outside. He had worn a suit, clearly his only one based on the slightly outdated cut, but he looked handsome and nervous and perfect. "You look beautiful," he said when he saw her. "You look pretty great yourself," she replied, and she meant it. Dinner was wonderful. Without Lily as a buffer, the conversation became more intimate, more personal. They talked about their dreams, their fears, their pasts. Jason told her more about his late wife, about the grief and the gradual healing. Sophia shared her complicated feelings about her father, about the pressure she felt to live up to expectations, though she still kept the details vague. "Can I ask you something?" Jason said as they shared a dessert. "Of course," Sophia replied. "Where do you see this going? Us, I mean." He asked, his eyes searching hers. "Because I need to be honest with you. I really like you, Sophia, more than like you, but I have got Lily to think about. I cannot bring someone into her life unless it is serious." Sophia reached across the table and took his hand. "I really like you too, Jason. And I adore Lily. I want this to be serious. I want to see where this can go." "Yeah?" Jason asked, his face transforming with happiness. "Yeah," Sophia confirmed. He walked her to her car afterward, and they stood in the parking lot, neither wanting the evening to end. Jason reached up and tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, his hand lingering on her cheek. "Can I kiss you?" he asked softly. "Please," she whispered. The kiss was gentle at first, tentative, and then deepened as weeks of building tension finally found release. When they pulled apart, both were breathless. "Wow," Jason said. "Yeah," Sophia agreed. "Wow." They started officially dating after that. Sophia met Jason's small circle of friends, other parents from Lily's school, a few guys from his construction crew. They all welcomed her warmly, and nobody questioned who she was beyond Jason's girlfriend. It was intoxicating, being seen as just Sophia, not Sophia Turner, billionaire CEO, but the deception was eating at her. Every day that passed made it harder to come clean. How could she tell him now, months into their relationship, that she had been lying about who she was? Not lying exactly, but certainly not being truthful. She convinced herself she was waiting for the right moment, but deep down she knew she was just afraid. The situation came to a head 4 months into their relationship. Jason's construction company had landed a big contract, and there was a celebration at a bar downtown. He invited Sophia, excited for her to see this part of his life. She agreed, happy to support him. What neither of them knew was that the building they were constructing was owned by a subsidiary of Turner Industries. Sophia had signed off on the project months ago, but had not been involved in the day-to-day details. She had no idea Jason's company was the contractor. They arrived at the bar, and Jason introduced her around to his coworkers and bosses. Everything was fine until Jason's supervisor, Mike, a gruff man in his 50s, pulled Jason aside. Sophia was standing close enough to overhear. "Hey, Jason, do not take this the wrong way, but your girlfriend looks really familiar," Mike said. "What did you say she does?" "Business management," Jason replied. "Why?" Mike pulled out his phone, typed something, and his eyes widened. He showed Jason the screen. "Is this her?" Sophia's heart stopped. She could not see the screen, but she knew. Jason's face went through several emotions in quick succession: confusion, recognition, shock, and then something that looked like betrayal. "Sophia," he said, turning to her with the phone. On the screen was a Forbes article with her picture, titled "Sophia Turner, the youngest self-made female billionaire in tech." The bar noise seemed to fade into the background. Everyone was looking at them now. "Can we talk outside?" Sophia asked quietly. Jason nodded stiffly. They walked out into the cool night air, and Sophia felt like she might be sick. "You are a billionaire," Jason said, his voice flat. "You own the company that is hiring us." "Technically, a subsidiary owns the building, but yes," Sophia said. "Jason, I can explain." "Explain what?" "That you have been lying to me for 4 months," Jason said, anger creeping into his voice now. "I did not lie. I just did not tell you everything," Sophia tried. "That is the same thing," Jason said, running his hand through his hair in frustration. "God, I told you everything. About my financial struggles, about the school payment, about how hard it is to make ends meet. You must have thought I was pathetic." "No, never," Sophia said desperately. "Jason, that is exactly why I did not tell you, because I knew you would look at me differently." "Everyone does when they find out. I just wanted to be normal for once, to have someone see me as just Sophia." "But you are not just Sophia," Jason said. "You are this whole other person I do not even know. What else have you not told me? Was any of it real?" "All of it was real," Sophia insisted, tears starting to fall. "My feelings for you are real. My feelings for Lily are real. That is the realest thing in my life, Jason, please." Jason stepped back, creating physical distance. "I need time to think. I cannot do this right now." "Jason, please," Sophia begged. "I have to think about Lily," Jason said, his voice breaking slightly. "I let you into her life, and now I find out I do not even know who you are. I need space, Sophia. Please respect that." He turned and walked back into the bar, leaving Sophia standing alone on the sidewalk, her whole world crumbling around her. The next few days were the worst of Sophia's life. Jason did not answer her calls or respond to her texts. She stopped going to the gym, knowing he would not want to see her there. She threw herself into work, but for the first time in her career, it brought no satisfaction. Nothing mattered without Jason and Lily. Margaret, her assistant, finally confronted her when she found Sophia crying in her office. "What happened?" Margaret asked gently, closing the door behind her. Sophia told her everything. About meeting Jason, about hiding her identity, about falling in love, about losing it all. "So go fix it," Margaret said simply when Sophia finished. "He does not want to see me," Sophia said miserably. "Did he say that? Or did he say he needs time to think?" Margaret challenged, "because those are two different things. What if I give him time and he decides he does not want me?" Sophia asked. "What if you do not fight for him and you lose him by default?" Margaret countered. "Sophia, in the 15 years I have worked for you, I have never seen you this happy as you have been these past few months. If he is worth it, then fight for him. Make him understand." Sophia sat with that advice. Margaret was right. She had not built a billion-dollar company by giving up when things got hard. She needed to show Jason that her feelings were real, that the person he had fallen for was the real her, regardless of the money. She started by writing him a letter. A real, handwritten letter, not an email or text. She poured her heart into it, explaining everything. Why she had hidden her identity at first, how she had fallen for him, how being with him and Lily had made her feel more herself than she had in years. She explained that the money was just a circumstance of her birth and her work, but it did not define who she was inside. She apologized for not being honest sooner and told him that she understood if he could not forgive her. But she needed him to know that her love for him and Lily was the most real thing in her life. She drove to his apartment, her hands shaking, and slipped the letter under his door late at night when she knew Lily would be asleep. Then she waited. 2 days passed with no response. Sophia was beginning to lose hope when her phone finally rang. It was Jason. Hello. She answered, her heart pounding. I got your letter, Jason said. His voice was tired but not angry anymore. And, Sophia asked, barely breathing. And I have been doing a lot of thinking, he said. Can we talk in person? Yes, anywhere, anytime, Sophia said immediately. Tomorrow morning. The diner where we used to have coffee. 7 o'clock, he suggested. I will be there, Sophia promised. She barely slept that night. She arrived at the diner 15 minutes early, ordering coffee she was too nervous to drink. Jason arrived exactly at 7, looking like he had not slept much either. He slid into the booth across from her. Thank you for meeting me, Sophia said. I have been thinking about what you wrote, Jason started, and about everything that happened. I was angry because I felt like you did not trust me, like you thought I could not handle knowing who you really are. That was not it at all, Sophia said quickly. I trusted you more than I have trusted anyone in years. I was afraid that you would see the money instead of me. It happens every single time, Jason. Every friendship, every relationship, it all becomes about what I can do for people or what they can get from me. I get that now, Jason said, but you have to understand my side too. I have got a daughter who I am raising to value honesty and integrity. How do I reconcile that with being in a relationship with someone who hid such a huge part of themselves? You are right, Sophia admitted. I should have told you sooner. I wanted to so many times. I was just scared of losing you. Jason was quiet for a moment, turning his coffee cup in his hands. I talked to Lily about it. Obviously, I did not tell her about the money part, but I explained that you and I had a disagreement and we were figuring things out. What did she say? Sophia asked, almost afraid to hear the answer. She asked if you were still our friend, if you still liked us, Jason said, a small smile tugging at his lips. When I told her yes, you still liked us very much, she said then we should forgive you because that is what friends do. Sophia felt tears welling up. She is a wise kid. She is, Jason agreed. And she really loves you, Sophia. She has been asking about you constantly. I love her too. I love both of you, Sophia said, the words tumbling out. I know it is fast and I know I messed up, but I do. I love you, Jason. Jason reached across the table and took her hand. I love you too. That is what makes this so hard. I fell in love with the woman who talked to me about terrible reality TV and made dinosaur sounds with my daughter. I need to know that woman is real. She is real. That is the most real version of me that exists, Sophia insisted. The business side, the money, that is just what I do. Who I am is the person who wants to spend Saturday mornings at the farmer's market with you and Lily, who wants to help with kindergarten homework and hear about your day. That is me, Jason. The rest is just circumstances. Jason studied her face, searching for something. Whatever he was looking for, he seemed to find it. Okay, Sophia repeated, afraid to hope. Okay, let us try again, but with complete honesty this time. No more secrets, Jason said firmly. If this is going to work, I need to know you are telling me everything. Deal, Sophia agreed immediately. Ask me anything. I will answer completely honestly. They spent the next 2 hours in that diner booth, Sophia answering every question Jason had. She told him about growing up wealthy but lonely. About her mother who had passed away when Sophia was young, about her father who had built an empire but struggled to show love. She explained how she had taken over the company at 25 after her father's retirement, the pressure she felt, the isolation that came with her position. She talked about the good parts too, the philanthropic work she was passionate about, the satisfaction of building something meaningful, the responsibility she felt toward her employees. Jason listened to all of it, asking thoughtful questions, trying to reconcile the woman in front of him with the image of a billionaire CEO. By the end, his understanding had shifted. He could see how the money and power were both a blessing and a burden for her. So what does this mean for us? Jason finally asked. I mean, practically speaking, our lives are so different. They do not have to be, Sophia said. I do not need fancy restaurants or expensive dates. I do not need you to be anything other than who you are. What I need is you and Lily. Everything else is just details we can figure out together. People are going to know eventually, Jason pointed out. Once we are seen together publicly, they will connect the dots. Are you ready for people to know you are dating a construction worker with a kid? Sophia squeezed his hand. I would be proud to be seen with you, Jason. If you can handle the scrutiny that might come with dating me, then yes, I am absolutely ready for people to know. Jason was quiet for another moment, then nodded slowly. Okay, let us do this, for real this time. The relief that flooded through Sophia was overwhelming. Really, Jason confirmed, but I have one condition. Anything, Sophia said. You come to dinner at our place tonight. Lily has been making me promise to bring you back. I think she might actually riot if I show up alone again, Jason said with a genuine smile. Sophia laughed, tears of happiness now replacing the tears of fear. I would love nothing more. That evening, when Sophia arrived at Jason's modest apartment with a bouquet of flowers and a new dinosaur for Lily, the little girl launched herself at Sophia's legs with such force that she nearly knocked her over. You came back, Lily shouted happily. Of course I came back, Sophia said, crouching down to hug her properly. I missed you so much. I missed you too, Lily said seriously. Daddy was sad when you were gone. He said you had to work on grown-up stuff, but I think he was just sad. Lily, Jason said with gentle exasperation, but he was smiling. Well, I am back now, and I am not going anywhere, Sophia promised, looking up at Jason as she said it. They had dinner together, simple pasta that Jason had made, and it was perfect. Afterward, Lily insisted on showing Sophia every single drawing she had made in the past week, narrating elaborate stories about each one. When it was finally bedtime, Lily asked if Sophia would help tuck her in. Can Sophia read me a story? Lily asked Jason. If she wants to, Jason said, looking to Sophia. I would love to, Sophia said. She read Lily 3 stories, doing different voices for all the characters, making the little girl giggle. When Lily's eyes finally started to droop, Sophia kissed her forehead and stood to leave. Sophia. Lily said sleepily. Yes, sweetie. I am glad you are back. I like when you are here, Lily said. I like being here too, Sophia replied, her heart full. She stepped out of Lily's room to find Jason waiting in the hallway. He pulled her into his arms, holding her close. Thank you for giving me another chance, Sophia whispered against his chest. Thank you for fighting for us, Jason replied. I am sorry I pushed you away. I just got scared. I understand, Sophia said. I am sorry I did not trust you with the truth sooner. They stood there for a long moment, just holding each other. Then Jason pulled back slightly and cupped her face in his hands. I meant what I said this morning. I love you, Sophia Turner, all of you, the business executive and the woman who makes dinosaur sounds, all of it, he said. I love you too, Jason Bryant. So much, Sophia replied. He kissed her then, slow and deep, and it felt like coming home. Over the next few months, they navigated their new reality together. Sophia introduced Jason and Lily to more of her world, but carefully, making sure they never felt overwhelmed. Jason met her small circle of truly trusted friends, including Margaret, who took one look at him and pulled Sophia aside to whisper, "Keep this one." Jason introduced Sophia to his family, his parents and his sister who lived a few hours away. They were initially intimidated by her wealth and status, but Sophia won them over by being genuinely interested in their lives and by the obvious love she showed their son and granddaughter. The media did eventually catch wind of their relationship. A photographer snapped a picture of them at a park with Lily, and the tabloids had a field day with headlines like "Billionaire CEO's Secret Family" and "From Rags to Riches," the love story of Sophia Turner. Jason hated the attention, found it invasive and uncomfortable, but Sophia had warned him it would happen and had hired security to make sure Lily was protected. They weathered the storm together. Sophia made a brief public statement confirming she was in a relationship with Jason and asking for privacy for his daughter's sake. Most media respected that, and the frenzy died down after a few weeks. Life settled into a new normal. Sophia spent most nights at Jason's apartment, finding more peace in that small space than in her penthouse downtown. She helped Lily with homework, learned to cook Jason's favorite meals, became part of the fabric of their daily life. Jason, for his part, made an effort to understand Sophia's world. He attended a few charity events with her, uncomfortable in a tux, but proud to stand by her side. He learned about her business, asking intelligent questions and offering perspectives from his world that she found valuable. 8 months into their reconciled relationship, Jason started looking at rings. He knew Sophia could buy herself any ring in the world, could probably buy the entire jewelry store if she wanted to, which made the task even more daunting. But he wanted to do this right. He wanted to choose something meaningful. He enlisted Margaret's help, swearing her to secrecy. Together, they found a ring that was beautiful but not ostentatious, a simple platinum band with a single perfect diamond. It was expensive by Jason's standards, requiring him to save for several months, but modest compared to what Sophia could afford. Margaret assured him that Sophia would love it precisely because he had chosen it with thought and care. Planning the proposal was tricky. Jason wanted it to be special but private, meaningful to their story. He decided on the gym where they had first met. He got permission from the manager to come in early one Sunday morning before they opened. He brought Lily in on the plan because this proposal was not just about him and Sophia, it was about becoming a family. That Sunday morning, Jason told Sophia he wanted to show her something at the gym, a surprise. She was curious but agreed. When they arrived, the gym was empty except for the manager who let them in and then discreetly disappeared. "Jason, what is this about?" Sophia asked as he led her to the spot where he had first stood up for her. "This is where we met," Jason said. "This is where I first saw you, first talked to you. I had no idea that moment would change my life." "Mine too," Sophia said softly. "I need to tell you something," Jason continued, his heart pounding. "Before I met you, I was just going through the motions. Working, taking care of Lily, surviving. But you brought joy back into my life. You reminded me that I could be happy again, that I could love again." Sophia's eyes were already glistening with tears. "You love my daughter like she is your own. You make me want to be a better man. You fit into our lives like you were always meant to be there," Jason said, pulling the ring box from his pocket and dropping to one knee. Sophia gasped, her hands flying to her mouth. "Sophia Turner, will you marry me? Will you be my wife and Lily's mom?" Jason asked, opening the box. "Yes," Sophia said immediately, tears streaming down her face now. "Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes." Jason stood and slipped the ring onto her finger, and she threw her arms around him, kissing him through happy tears. They broke apart when they heard a squeal from across the gym. Lily came running out from where she had been hiding with the manager, holding a sign she had made that said, "Say yes, please," in crayon. She said yes, Jason told his daughter, scooping her up with one arm while keeping the other around Sophia. "Does that mean you are going to be my mom?" Lily asked Sophia seriously. "If that is okay with you," Sophia said, her voice choked with emotion. "It is very okay," Lily declared, wrapping her arms around Sophia's neck. They stood there, the three of them embraced in the empty gym, crying and laughing and beginning their new chapter. The engagement was announced publicly, and again the media went wild. But this time, Sophia and Jason handled it together. They gave one interview to a major magazine, controlling their narrative, talking about how they met and fell in love. They emphasized their desire to keep Lily out of the spotlight and to maintain as much normalcy as possible. Planning the wedding was an adventure in compromise. Sophia wanted to give Jason whatever he wanted, and Jason wanted to make sure Sophia had the wedding she deserved. They finally settled on a medium-sized ceremony at a beautiful garden venue. Elegant, but not over the top, with a guest list that included Sophia's business associates and board members alongside Jason's construction crew and fellow kindergarten parents. Lily was the flower girl, taking her job with utmost seriousness. She practiced walking slowly and not throwing all the petals at once for weeks before the wedding. On the day itself, as Sophia walked down the aisle in a beautiful but understated dress, her eyes locked on Jason standing at the altar in a new suit that actually fit him properly. His eyes were wet with tears as he watched her approach. Lily stood next to him, holding her basket of petals, beaming with pride. The ceremony was beautiful. They had written their own vows. Jason promised to support Sophia's dreams while building their own dreams together, to always be honest with her, to love her in sickness and health, in wealth or poverty, forever. Sophia promised to cherish him and Lily, to never let her work come before their family, to always choose them first, to love him with everything she had for the rest of her life. When the officiant pronounced them husband and wife, the kiss they shared was tender and full of promise. Lily cheered so loudly that everyone laughed. The reception was joyful. Sophia danced with her father, a stiff but meaningful moment. Jason danced with his mother, who was crying happy tears. But the best moment was when Jason and Sophia danced with Lily between them, the little girl's feet on top of her father's shoes as they swayed to a gentle song, the three of them officially a family now. During the toasts, Margaret stood up, having become a close friend to both of them. "I have worked for Sophia for many years, and I have never seen her happier than she has been since Jason and Lily came into her life. Jason, you have given her something no amount of money could buy, a real home and a real family. And Sophia, you have shown Jason and Lily what it means to be loved unconditionally. You three were meant to find each other. To the happy family." The guests raised their glasses, cheering. After the wedding, they honeymooned as a family. Sophia had wanted to take Jason somewhere exotic, but he had requested something more meaningful. They went to a lake house, just the three of them, and spent a week swimming, fishing, roasting marshmallows, and being together without the pressure of the outside world. One evening, as they sat on the dock watching the sunset, Lily between them, Sophia felt a contentment she had never known was possible. "What are you thinking about?" Jason asked, noticing her expression. "I am thinking about how lucky I am," Sophia said. "I spent so long thinking my wealth was what defined me, what would attract people or drive them away. But you showed me that the right person sees past all of that to who you really are." "You know what I think," Jason said, pulling her closer. "I think we are both lucky. You gave me hope again after I thought I had lost it. You gave Lily a mother who adores her. You gave us a future I never dreamed was possible." "Are you happy?" Sophia asked, needing to hear it. "Happier than I ever thought I could be," Jason assured her, kissing her temple. "Me too," Lily chimed in, making them both laugh. Life after the wedding settled into a beautiful rhythm. They decided to move into a new house together, something that was theirs rather than his apartment or her penthouse. Sophia let Jason have significant input into the choice, and they settled on a comfortable home in a good school district, nice but not ostentatious. It had a yard where Lily could play and a home office where Sophia could work when needed. Jason continued his construction work. Sophia had offered to set him up in his own business or to hire him in one of her companies, but he had declined. He liked his work, liked his crew, and wanted to maintain that part of his identity. Sophia respected that completely. Sophia continued running Turner Industries, but started delegating more, making sure she was home for family dinners and weekends. She discovered that she could be a successful CEO and a present wife and mother. It just required better boundaries and priorities. Lily thrived with two parents. Her confidence grew, her grades improved, and she blossomed into a happy, well-adjusted child. When people asked about her family, she proudly talked about her daddy and her mom, no distinction made even though Sophia had not given birth to her. A year into their marriage, over a quiet dinner after Lily had gone to bed, Sophia brought up something that had been on her mind. "How would you feel about having another baby?" she asked Jason. Jason looked up from his plate, surprised. "Really, you want that?" "I do," Sophia said. "I love being Lily's mom, and I would love to experience pregnancy and a baby with you, if you want that too." Jason reached across the table and took her hand. "I would love that. I would love to have a baby with you." They started trying, and 3 months later, Sophia found out she was pregnant. Jason cried when she told him, overcome with emotion. Lily, now 7 years old, was thrilled at the prospect of being a big sister. The pregnancy was healthy and uneventful. Sophia worked until her 8th month and then took leave, something she had never allowed herself before. Jason doted on her, protective and tender. Lily talked to Sophia's belly every night, telling her little brother or sister about all the things they would do together. They found out they were having a boy. Jason was over the moon, already imagining teaching his son all the things he had taught Lily. When Sophia went into labor, Jason was by her side the entire time, holding her hand, coaching her breathing, whispering encouragement. Lily stayed with Jason's parents, eagerly awaiting news. After 12 hours of labor, their son was born. They named him James, after Jason's father, with the middle name William after Sophia's late mother's surname. He was perfect, with a full head of dark hair and his father's strong features. Holding James for the first time, Sophia looked at Jason with wonder. We made this perfect little person." "We did," Jason agreed, his arm around her shoulders as they gazed at their son. "Our family is complete," but Sophia shook her head slightly. "Not complete, growing." Always growing. When they brought James home, Lily was the most attentive big sister anyone could ask for. She wanted to help with everything, from diaper changes to bottle feeding. She sang to him when he cried and showed him her toys, even though he was too little to appreciate them yet. Life with a newborn was exhausting but beautiful. Jason took paternity leave from work, something his company had never offered before but Sophia had quietly arranged. Together, they navigated sleepless nights, endless feedings, and the overwhelming love that comes with a new baby. As James grew, the house filled with new sounds. Baby giggles and cries, Lily's constant chatter as she narrated life to her little brother, Jason's gentle voice singing lullabies he had sung to Lily years before, Sophia's soft conversations with her son as she nursed him in the quiet hours of the morning. On James's first birthday, they had a party in their backyard. It was a mix of their two worlds. Sophia's business associates mingling with Jason's construction crew, wealthy socialites chatting with kindergarten teachers, everyone unified by their affection for this family that had come together in such an unlikely way. As Sophia looked around at the party, at Lily helping James smash his birthday cake, at Jason laughing with his friends, at all the people who had become part of their life, she felt a profound gratitude. Margaret approached, holding a glass of champagne. "Quite the journey from that gym, huh?" "The best journey of my life," Sophia agreed. "You know what I think," Margaret said. "I think you found what you were looking for all along, not in a boardroom or a bank account, but in a life well lived with people who love you for you." "You are absolutely right," Sophia said, watching Jason lift Lily onto his shoulders while holding James in his other arm, his face alight with joy. This is everything. That night, after the party was cleaned up and both children were asleep, Jason and Sophia sat on their back porch enjoying the quiet. "Do you ever miss it?" Jason asked. "The freedom you had before me and the kids?" Sophia turned to look at him, incredulous. "Not for a single second." "Jason, before you, I had money and success, but I was lonely. I came home to an empty penthouse every night. I attended parties where no one really knew me. You gave me a life, a real life. You gave me love and family and purpose beyond a profit margin." "You gave me that too," Jason said. "After I lost Lily's mom, I thought that part of my life was over. I thought I would just raise Lily alone and that would be it. Then you came along and showed me I could love again, could build a life again." "We built it together," Sophia said, lacing her fingers through his. "We did," Jason agreed, "and I would not change a single thing." They sat in comfortable silence for a while, just being together. "Do you remember what you said to that guy at the gym?" Sophia asked. "When you stood up for me?" "That you had asked him to leave you alone," Jason recalled. "You said it became your business when he did not respect the word no," Sophia said. "That was when I started falling for you, I think. That moment when you chose to get involved when you did not have to." "I am glad I did," Jason said. "Best decision I ever made." "Second best," Sophia corrected. "The best was asking me to marry you." "Fair point," Jason laughed. As the years continued to pass, their love only deepened. They faced challenges like any couple, disagreements about parenting styles, stress from work, the everyday struggles of maintaining a household and raising children. But they faced them together, always communicating, always choosing each other. Lily grew into a confident teenager, smart and kind, with her father's integrity and her mother's business sense. She never felt like she was less than James because Sophia had not given birth to her. Sophia made sure both children knew they were equally loved, equally hers. James grew into a curious, energetic boy who idolized his father and adored his mother. He had the best of both his parents, Jason's steady strength and Sophia's quick mind. When Lily turned 16, she asked Sophia something that made Sophia's heart swell. "Mom, I want to work at Turner Industries this summer. Not because of who you are to me, but because I want to learn the business. Will you teach me?" Sophia fought back tears. "I would be honored." Jason supported Lily's interest, proud of her initiative. He had long ago stopped feeling insecure about Sophia's wealth. It was just a fact of their life, like his love of football or Sophia's terrible singing voice. What mattered was how they used it. Together, Sophia and Jason had established a foundation that supported single parents, providing childcare assistance, job training, and financial counseling. It was their way of giving back, of helping people like Jason had been when they first met. They called it the Second Chances Foundation, and it became one of Sophia's proudest achievements. On their 10th wedding anniversary, Jason planned a surprise for Sophia. He took her back to the gym where they had met. It was under new management now, renovated and updated, but the essence was the same. "Do you remember?" Jason asked as they stood in the spot where he had confronted her harasser. "Of course I remember," Sophia said. "It was the day my life changed." "Mine too," Jason said. He pulled out a small box. "I know we are already married, but I wanted to give you something, a 10-year anniversary present." Sophia opened the box to find a necklace with 2 charms, a small dumbbell and a tiny dinosaur. "The dumbbell for where we met, and the dinosaur for Lily, the reason I was here that day," Jason explained. "The 2 things that brought us together." Sophia's eyes filled with tears as she put on the necklace. "It is perfect. I love it. I love you." "I love you too," Jason said. "Here is to 10 more years, and 10 after that, and forever." They kissed there in the gym, in the place where their story began, grateful for every moment that had brought them to this point. Their life was not perfect. No life is. But it was real, and it was theirs, built on a foundation of mutual respect, honest love, and the courage to see past surfaces to the heart beneath. Sophia had learned that true wealth was not measured in dollars, but in the love of family, the warmth of home, the joy of watching your children grow, the comfort of a partner who knows you completely and loves you anyway. Jason had learned that strength was not just physical, not just about providing and protecting, but also about being vulnerable enough to accept love, to let someone in, to build something together rather than carrying everything alone. Together, they had created something beautiful from an unlikely beginning. A chance encounter at a gym had blossomed into a love story that sustained them through every season of life. As they grew older together, watching Lily graduate high school and head to college, watching James discover his own passions, they held tight to each other and to the family they had built. On quiet evenings, they would sit together on that same back porch, now with gray threading through Jason's hair and laugh lines around Sophia's eyes, and reflect on the journey they had taken. "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you had not stood up for me that day?" Sophia asked once. "All the time," Jason admitted, "and then I thank God I did." "Me too," Sophia said, resting her head on his shoulder. "Me too." Their story was proof that love could be found in the most unexpected places, that two people from different worlds could build a bridge between them strong enough to last a lifetime. It was a testament to the power of seeing someone for who they truly are beneath the surface, of choosing kindness, of having the courage to fight for what matters. And as they sat together, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of gold and pink, surrounded by the life they had built together, they knew they had found something rare and precious. A love that transformed them both, a family that filled their hearts, and a happiness that money could never buy but was worth more than all the wealth in the world. Their story, which had begun with a simple act of standing up for what was right, had grown into a beautiful tapestry of love, family, and shared dreams. And it was still being written, one day at a time, one moment of love at a time, forever.